Yo, what's up, guys? What a wild game this was in game one of round two in the Stanley Cup playoffs between the Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys. But the Leafs find a way to get the win, guys, defeating the Panthers 5-4 in game one, guys, in a very controversial and I would say a very exciting game as well, guys. But man, oh man, what a game this was, guys. Great start by the Leafs. I think we all agree, guys. William Nylander gets a goal like not even 30 seconds into the game. Great start by the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys. They started off really well in this hockey game, guys. Get an early goal. You set the tempo. The Leafs were forechecking like crazy, doing a really good job. You know what I mean, guys? I thought the Leafs started off this game fantastically, and then after William Nylander gets another goal, making it 2-0 with a beautiful deke on Bobrovsky to go over his glove, guys. Just a spectacular goal for William Nylander, guys. Just carrying the team on his back. Willie, guys, another 3-point night for him. Tied for the league lead with 12 points with Mikko Rantanen in the playoffs and Kyle Connor, I'm pretty sure, guys. So Willie's doing his job. He's doing his part. The team was playing well. And then, of course, the referees decided, we gotta get Florida back in this game. Let's give Max Domi a non-existent penalty, right? It was like, you gotta be bloody kidding me with that call by the refs on Max Domi. Absolutely pathetic. You know what I mean, guys? Now, obviously, nothing really happened there, but still. The referees, they were asking for bloody trouble tonight, guys. With the calls that they were making already to start this game, guys. You know what I mean? But then after, we obviously saw what happened. Florida cut it down to 2-1, and then we saw what went on with Anthony Stolarz. Obviously, the talk of this game, obviously, guys, of what happened. Stolarz takes that slap shot or that shot off Sam Reinhart's off his mask there. That's one play there where I see a doctor on Twitter saying he was concussed in that play there because he shook his head, and he said that 72% of the time when somebody takes a major hit to the head like that, they're going to be concussed 72%. So that wasn't great to see. And then after, we all saw what happened next, guys. This bloody jackass, Sam Bennett. I enjoyed him watching him at Four Nations, but other than that, I have not enjoyed seeing this jackass do what he's been doing to Maple Leafs players. Obviously, what he did to Matthew Knies 2 years ago was absolutely ridiculous. No penalty or suspension for that call. Slamming Knies' head on the ice a few years ago. Doing what he did to his current teammate, Brad Marchand, last year, even though it's Brad Marchand, still a dirty, bloody play. Okay, still didn't get called there. And then tonight, an elbow to his former teammate, Anthony Stolarz. No call, no nothing. And then after, guys, Craig Berube goes after the game in his press conference saying, oh, it's an elbow, clear as day. So I'm telling you guys right now, and I think we can all agree on this, if Sam Bennett does not get suspended, something's got to happen to him. Okay, that's enough. That is enough. Okay, you either got to do something to this guy or go after Bobrovsky. That is enough with this guy taking liberties on our players like this. This is ridiculous. The refs are pathetic. The league is pathetic for leaving Stolarz in there for 10 extra minutes. He pukes on the side there on a TV timeout. This is absolutely amateur hour by the NHL. Just pathetic, if you ask me, guys. Florida's only way back into this game was taking out Stolarz. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was a dirty play by Bennett. Florida is a dirty team. We saw what Matthew Tkachuk did to Marner at the end of the game with that little play there by the boards, cross-checking him. These guys are scumbags, and they're pieces of shit. All right, we've seen it. That's why Brad Marchand is perfect for the Florida Panthers, that jagoff as well. All right, you know what I mean? Like, this is absolutely absurd to see what we saw tonight, guys. Now, the Leafs did a really good job, guys. They kept on taking the lead, going up 3-1 and then 4-1. Tanev scores a nice goal. Riley scores a great goal. The Leafs are commanding the lead, right, guys? And then we saw what happened there, obviously, like I mentioned, then after Florida comes into the game in the third, scoring 2 early goals on a cold Joseph Woll. I don't even blame Joe Woll, guys, on these goals. Guy comes into the game in the heat of battle like that, gives up a few goals that weren't his fault. One play was bad defensively. Couple were tipped. These weren't Joe Woll's fault, guys, but the Leafs cannot let this affect them, and obviously they didn't let it affect them. Matthew Knies with the spectacular goal. Great play by Marner along the boards. Knies gets the insurance goal to make it 5-3, and thank God he did, because we saw Florida score that goal, guys, to make it 5-4. It would have been really nerve-wracking if it was 4-3 still, and then that happened, obviously. It would have been completely undeserved by the Florida Panthers. You know, they did not deserve this game at all because of the bullshit they were pulling in this game. It was absolutely immense for the Leafs to close out this game. You got to give Craig Berube a lot of credit as well. Calling that timeout when it was 4-3 the Leafs, calmed everybody down. Says, we're okay. We're fine. Do not get carried away here. Just play your game and we'll be good. And that's what a great coach does for you guys. He sets the tone, keeps things calm. But I loved what he said after the game, guys, in the press conference, like I mentioned, saying clear as day was a penalty. Clear as day, it's an elbow. He says, hopefully the league looks at it. Then you got Paul Maurice obviously saying that the ref was right there. And if it was a bad play, he would have called it. It's the heat of the battle in the middle of the playoffs. This is what you're going to get from the coaches, guys. But Sam Bennett should be suspended at least 2 games. At least. This guy's a repeat offender. We've seen what happened in the past with Kadri, getting multiple suspensions. Bunting getting suspended against Tampa Bay. Enough is enough now. It's time for the Leafs to finally get some justice for the other teams doing shit to their guys. It was absolutely absurd that not even a penalty was called, guys, But give the Leafs credit, like I said. They showed maturity, found a way to win. Maybe a few years ago, they don't close out this game and win, guys. But tonight they did. A lot of kudos to them. But one thing, guys, that did concern me was obviously the power play, of course. 0 for 5 on the power play. You will not win a playoff series, especially against the defending Stanley Cup champions, going 0 for 5 on the power play. It just can't happen. Can't happen. All right, guys, so I think we can all agree the Leafs power play needs to be better. The Leafs power play is 1 for 14 in their last 4 games. Okay, that's not good enough. You're not going to win that way. You got to improve the power play. It has not looked good. Obviously, they scored the 1 power play in Game 6 against Ottawa. It's not good enough, though, guys. The power play's got to improve, and hopefully it does, because if it doesn't, it's going to be a long search for the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys. But William Nylander, guys, what a game by Willie. 3 points by him. I loved Matthew Knies' game. What a game by Knies. I'm pretty sure he had 2 points and a goal and assist. Max Pacioretty, who had a good Game 6, led the team in 7 hits in Game 6, gets that game winner against Ottawa. Was very productive tonight as well, guys. A +3, 2 assists. Massive job by Max Pacioretty since he's come into the lineup, guys, for Nick Robinson. He has done a really good job getting his feet moving, forechecking, hitting, guys. We saw that hit on Barkov Pacioretty had. It was beautiful to see. The Leafs were doing some really good things, guys. Then obviously we saw what happened in the third period. Leafs fell off a little bit, let the gas off a little bit, and ended up biting them. They cannot do that, guys. And let's be honest, guys. Another thing, how often is Sergei Bobrovsky going to give up 5 goals in a playoff game? It's not going to happen very often. This was a vital win for them, specifically because he was not his best tonight. How many times you're going to get a bad Bobrovsky? Not many. You got to take advantage of the opportunities when he is not having a great game. Clearly, the Panthers did not start off on the right from this game. The Leafs were just all over them. Even in the face-off draw, the Leafs were the way better team than Florida tonight, guys. So, a lot of positives to this hockey game tonight, guys. The D-core was solid as well. The defense core has 7 goals in the playoffs, guys. That is absolutely massive. The Leafs have had 10 different scores in the first round against Ottawa. That is absolutely huge for this team to be getting production from all different lines, guys. But they have to continue this play going into the next game, guys. It is vital for the Leafs to get another win, guys. You get a 2-0 lead going to Florida if possible. That would be absolutely massive for the confidence, guys. But I think we all know that Joe Wall will probably be starting in Game 2, guys. If you guys ask me, I don't think we're seeing Anthony Stolarz the rest of the series. It is very unfortunate. Sam Bennett got his wish. The Florida Panthers clearly got their wish, eliminating their backup goaltender who wanted to show his former team that he could actually win a series against them. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that is going to be the case tonight or this series in general, guys. Really unfortunate for Stolarz. He got stretchered off out of the arena in the third period. Really worrying to hear. I hope he's healthy. I hope he gets better. He has to take as much time as possible. Concussion, do not screw around with these things. Joe Wall, it's your time now, brother. Take that net and lead this team to a conference final, guys. Let's hope he can do it. There's still a lot of games left to be played, guys. The series is not done yet, but the Leafs did a good job by getting the first win tonight. First check mark off, but you got to get 3 more. That is the most important thing. Do not let Florida back in this series, guys. Taking a too many men penalty can't happen. Inexcusable, can't happen. You cannot give Florida free power plays because look what happened. Seth Jones scored that goal, guys. They cannot do it, guys. Can't happen. Leafs got to limit their penalties, limit shooting themselves in the foot. Get good goaltending. Play solid defensively. And they should find a way to win games, guys. But if Sam Bennett is not suspended, this league is a bloody joke and something needs to be done about it. Some people are saying, put in Ryan Reeves for a game, let him deal with Bennett, or take up Bobrovsky, one or the other. But enough is enough with the NHL. We expect something happening to Sam Bennett, guys. Disciplinary shit needs to happen to Sam Bennett. Enough is enough of this guy running around rampant like an animal that he is and doing what he's doing. Sickening shit by the league. Horrible performance tonight by the referees. Good job by the Leafs tonight to hold on to the lead and get the win, even though Florida made it difficult for them in the third, finding a way to crawl back in. That's what they're going to do all series, guys. But Leafs just got to continue finding ways to win, and I don't see why the Leafs cannot go on to possibly win this series. I did say the Leafs would lose this series, guys, but this is a very good start. Let's hope to God they can win the next game, and we'll see what happens then, guys. But, guys, that's it for this video today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, click like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go, guys. Remember, if you do not watch sports, you're more. Ciao, guys.